It benefits me either way.
Hello, Kim Cho.
That's good?
Yes.
Yeah, let me turn on my mic. And we're at 7:30, 7:29. Okay, everybody, welcome to the Village of Skokie Appearance Commission meeting for May 12th. I need to read something into the record before we begin. Until further notice, meetings of the Appearance Commission will be held electronically with the majority of the members participating via remote access in order to comply with the State of Illinois Gubernatorial Disaster Proclamation. Members of the public who wish to comment as to an item on the published agenda must submit their statement or question in writing to Carrie Haberstick at appearance@skokie.org, and all properly submitted statements or questions will be presented and read during the relevant portion of the meeting. Written comments may also be submitted by email to citizencomments@skokie.org, by mail to Village of Skokie, attention Nathan Kriska, Appearance Commission Liaison, 5127 Oakton Street, Skokie, Illinois, 60077, or via the Village drop box no later than noon the day of the meeting, located by the public entry to Village Hall. The meeting may be viewed on Skokie Vision Cable Channels 17 and 25, or via the Village website. Okay. We have several cases tonight. The last case is one which was a carryover from last month, which had several interested parties involved. So we're going to run through this case by case. Those who submitted their information understand what we're doing here tonight and what we're reviewing. When I call a case, I will also read into the record comments from the Village's Community Development Department, and we take those into consideration when rendering our opinion. There are neighbors that have been notified of this meeting, and there have been public notices in front of the addresses of this meeting informing people of such. And any of those comments, Matt Brandmeier will read into the record when we get to those cases on a case-by-case basis. I think I'm going to go and ask if anybody wants to approve the minutes from the prior month's meeting. Or make a motion as such.
Mike, I move that the minutes of the meeting of April 14th, 2021 be approved as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so passed. Again, like I said, when I call a case, we're going to do a case-by-case basis. The interested parties, I will single you out up on the screen here, and I will swear you in. Anybody who's going to speak tonight needs to be sworn in. So we're going to roll right into case 2021-026A at 8524 Keeler Avenue for Edward and Danny Krull. It's a residential first and second floor addition. The staff comments are, staff has no objections with the design. The side yard variation approval from the Zoning Board of Appeals was approved. Fire sprinkler system will be required if the addition floor area is greater than 50% of the existing home floor area. Is the petitioner on where I can see you before Alex goes in? I'm looking for the petitioner. Speak now, or?
Austin, our client.
I'm sorry, who is that? Raise your hand.
Jeff Harding.
All right, can you raise your, Jeff, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
Great, thank you. Go ahead, Alex. We have a new AV person here tonight, and I think he's going to do just great, so here we go. You can keep scrolling. Keep scrolling, Alex. Let's just get right to it. All right, so Jeff, why don't you take us through what's going on here? We got a, is this it?
Yes, we've been working with the Krills for about a year, almost a year and a half now, on the potential renovations and additions to the home. The existing core of the home, which you see in the center of the drawings and the 3D renderings, is original to the 1930s colonial revival style. Subsequent additions done probably in the 50s and 60s, which really consist mostly of those wings on the north side of the house. So if you're facing the front elevation,
Sure.
there's an existing garage there, and there's some spaces
That's good right
off on
there.
that side where it was a a single car garage, and then other rooms that were added, and slowly over time the property was extended more towards the street or Keeler. The addition that was done, I think more in the 90s or early 2000s, is that addition that's on you see on the screen there to the upper right. Slightly broke the scale of the house because they actually had higher ceilings in that space, so it seems to be a bit cattywampus with the overall scale of the existing house, which has really more like 8 to 9 foot ceilings where they extended more to 10 feet. The goal in the project was to create new additional spaces over the garage, more interior work on that north side of the house with one-story additions, and then add a second floor over that 90s southern addition that was done, and also in kind of keeping with the overall colonial revival style of the house, incorporating more Dutch gambrel roofs, kind of bring the house down and quieter, as we felt that doing full second floor additions with gable roofs would be competing more with the scale of the center core of the house, which we want to maintain.
No, I think it looks beautiful. Is the skin of the house, is that all what I'm seeing there? Are you refacing it all, or is it just, what's the material we're using up above where we're doing the additions?
The existing skin of the house, which is the Lannon stone, will remain, and the base of the southern addition, which was done in the 90s or 2000s, is also Lannon stone. It's not quite a perfect match, so we might bring a stone stainer that we've worked with in the past and to just kind of blend it in a little bit more. The upper portions of those Dutch gambrel roofs we're going to do in a beaded hardy plank siding, so it has a little bit more of that colonial detail in the bead of the siding itself, but it will be fairly maintenance-free.
Sounds good. Do any of the other commissioners have any questions or comments? It's already passed through zoning board of appeals.
Mike, I suggest that you take a look at the renderings. They really tell the story a lot better. I think it looks great as well.
Yeah, no, I did see it on the preview. Does this house back up to Evanston Golf Club?
It does.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's going to be substantially larger. So it looks beautiful though. I like the style of it and everything.
No, thank you.
Sure. Great work, actually. Does any of the other commissioners have any comment, one way or the other?
The colors are beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Thank you. We want it to be kind of soft.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
All right, somebody make a motion.
Okay, I will. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case number 2021-026A at 8524 Keeler as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 All right, so passed. Congratulations, it's going to be beautiful. Great work, architect. I didn't catch your name again, Jeff, I think it is.
Oh, Jeff Harding, sorry.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you very much. Great work.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you. We're going to move on to case 2021-027A at 9425 Harding for Raj and Sonia Menon. It's a first floor addition. The staff comments are, staff has no objections with the design. Technical items to be addressed include a minimum side yard of 6 feet at the garage addition and a pin consolidation. Elevations to be labeled correctly. Provide additional photos of rear and next door homes. This is case 2127. Who's representing the petitioner?
I am. Trista Kerr?
Trista, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, let's go ahead, Alex. You can chat if you want. It's just a first floor addition, Tricia?
Oh, yeah, it's a first floor addition on the back. We're adding, or enlarging the kitchen and renovating the existing kitchen into a dining area. And then we're also including an extra bedroom / office for multiple uses.
So as I look at what Alex has up there now, where's oh, I'm sorry, the addition's on the rear?
Yeah, it's on the back side, the southwest side of the house. So
I think you got to go up, Alex. Tell us when we're there, Tricia. All right, so.
okay, so that's the addition.
Okay, in the bottom right of the corner of the right drawing, okay.
Yeah, the bottom right is the bedroom, and then the kitchen is centered between the bedroom and the family room.
Sounds good. Can you scroll down just a little bit? So that's part of it on the right side of the drawing?
Yeah. Well, this is the garage. That's the existing south elevation.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's not the new. So then, that would be the side of the bedroom, and we're gonna do a deck on top of that,
Okay,
that space.
gotcha. Next drawing, Alex.
Just all materials to match?
Yes, there's brick, stone, and siding that will be matched, and the shingles as well.
Okay.
What are you making the railing out of?
Probably a wood material. We haven't decided exactly yet, but we'll be submitting, for plan review, and it'll be finalized then.
Okay.
Anybody have any other comment? Okay. then-
No, it looks good.
Looks good.
Go ahead, Julie, then.
Okay, I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2021-027A at 9425 Harding as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. All right, great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're gonna move
Sorry, I was a few minutes late. My computer was
We
not
did-
cooperating.
We did not notice, so you were on time
Okay.
for us.
Thank you.
Sure, case 2021-028A at 8636 Harding Avenue for Scott Markwell. It's a residential first and second floor addition. The staff comments are, staff has no objection to the design. AC unit must be a minimum of 6 feet from the side yard. Provide information to confirm 51% masonry to siding. Floor plan and elevation to match. That has to do with the window in the rear. Who's representing the petitioner?
I am Jeannie Petrick.
Hello, Jeannie. Can you raise your right hand, please?
Sorry.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right. Why don't you take us through it, Alex? Jeannie, feel free to dive in as he's scrolling through and do the description. Keep going, Alex. We're not going to go right there.
So it is a two-story addition off the back of the residence, rear side. It's an existing all brick residence that had an existing garage and an attached. I don't know if that was probably initially all enclosed or if it was open, but anyways, that's a small connection. It's one story. And then the two-story addition that we're proposing is all in siding to match the existing siding in the front.
Okay.
And then the existing brick residence is to remain.
Gotcha. So I see it. So you're just extending out a Georgian.
Yeah, and it's, like we're matching the pitch of the roof, we're matching
Sure.
existing materials, we're trying to match existing proportions in the windows and styles. And just, to give my client the space that they need for their growing family.
Gotcha. So, do you think you're at 51% on the masonry?
Yeah, I actually calculated it, just double checked it tonight, and
That's
I'm
fine.
right at 51.
That's fine. That's, as long as that's what the case is, so that's good.
Yeah. So,
Any of the commissioners have any comment on this?
I just have one. There seems to be a paucity of windows on that elevation there. Is that being driven by the floor plan?
I'm sorry, which elevation are you talking about?
The east elevation of the new addition.
The east elevation, you can't really. There is no east elevation.
But it's the front elevation. That's what I'm just reading from the plan.
Oh, you know what? That's a typo. I apologize. That's the side. That's the side elevation, and yeah, that was just out of necessity. Like up above on the second floor is a master bathroom and the bed wall and then also it's this also is the wall that is close to the property line, so also for privacy's sake. So most of the windows that we're proposing are oriented towards the south, which they're farther away from the property line.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody have any other comments or want to make a motion?
I can make a motion.
Go ahead, Julie.
Okay, I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2021-028A at 8636 Harding as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So passed. All right, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sure. Case, we're going to move on to case 2021-030A, 8154 Floral Avenue, Jeremy and Vanessa Lynn. New construction. The staff comments are, staff has no objections with the design. Combustible stairs are located in the side yard setback. I'm not sure if that means it's good or bad. Addition to comply with lot coverage ordinance. So this says new construction, but it says addition, so let's just take a look at it. Who is the petitioner?
It's Jeremy Lynn.
Jeremy,
I'm
can you
here
raise your
tonight.
right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great. Is this a new house or an addition?
I guess it's an addition. It's a new construction in terms of a coach house off the back of the alley of our existing driveway.
Okay.
So it's intended to be kind of a garage on the first floor and then a coach house residence on the second.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so the idea of the coach house was really to kind of match the existing house in terms of the siding. We have party board siding and same colors and type of shingles, kind of make it kind of an accessory structure, so to say. But at the same time, kind of have it function as a coach house residence.
Gotcha. Do you have dual doors on this coach house? So it's like a drive.
Yes.
It's a drive-through garage?
It's a drive-through, correct?
Okay. I was wondering because one looks like it's they're operable and open, hinged, and others are one of the other ones are rolling door.
That's correct. The front will be kind of like a wood garage door, and then the back of it will be kind of a swing door in case we to access the existing driveway.
Gotcha. Looks kind of cool. Without seeing the whole lot, I can't. I go ahead and keep. All right, so it's to the rear of that house. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Does anybody have any comments?
Looks fine.
Looks interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Don't see many coach houses in Skokie. All right, go ahead. Somebody make a motion.
Okay. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted to case 2021-030A at 8154 Floral Avenue as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay, Jeremy, congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you, everyone.
Sure. Case 2021-031A at 4110 Enfield Avenue, Chase Management LLC. It's a second floor addition. The staff comments are, staff has no objections with the design. Technical items include the information on 51% masonry to siding, have to have fire sprinkler system. Hopefully you guys are aware of that. Who represents the petitioner?
I do, Jason Amrani.
Jason, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
Right? You heard the staff comments, Jason, about sprinkler system? and
I did,
Great.
yeah, we were fully aware that we needed to do sprinkler,
I got it.
and we are at 51% for
Okay,
masonry.
good. So, let's go through this.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking, can you go back to the original drawing? Okay, great. Okay, good. So you're taking a ranch, you're gonna make it a two-story house, go ahead.
That is correct.
And you're actually gonna
And,
make it, and you're actually gonna make it look like it's not an addition. That's
That is correct. That is the goal.
very good.
So we're adding, right now it's an all brick house, and then there actually was an addition done, which you'll see in the back west portion of the home. We're actually going to vault the ceiling there, as you can see those big windows in the back. So yeah, I mean, obviously my goal is absolutely to make it look as if it was never an addition to it.
Are you going to re-brick the whole house? I mean, or, so it looks.
No, so the front is, it's all brick in the front right now, so I'm gonna take it down and put new stone, and then I'm gonna match the existing brick, and then paint it.
Okay.
And use hardy board for the remainder for the siding.
Okay. I think it looks great to me as I look at it. I guess my one comment would be on your front porch.
Yep.
Those columns look a little skinny.
Yep.
You might want to add some mass to those and make them look a little bigger.
Yeah, make them a little wider.
Or
Yeah.
maybe kind of prairie style them. I don't know, whatever you want to do there, but
Thank you.
and the two-dimensional drawing, it looks a little skinny. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, okay.
Any other commissioners have any comments?
Fine.
Looks good. Looks great.
All right, somebody make a motion.
I make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2021-030A. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. 031A at 4110 Enfield, as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, so passed. Congratulations.
Very much.
Case 2021-029, is that correct?
Yep, I'm here. David Zelinski.
Yeah, 029A at 8047 Floral Avenue, mixed-use new construction. And David, you're here?
Yep.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Right, thank you. The staff comments, staff has no objections to the design, landscaping plan needs to be provided.
Okay. If we want to start at the site plan, I'll kind of contextualize sort of where we had originally started our design. 2 pages down. Yeah, so up a little bit. There you go, the top page there. We're sited at the corner of Brown Street and Floral Avenue, and so Brown Street is a designated retail street, so it is to the east of us, and to the north of us is retail buildings. The one directly to the north of us is actually a residential building facing west. And then along Floral Avenue is just a purely residential street. So if you have it open and scroll to the next pages, you'll see some plans which basically contextualize us with commercial and retail along Brown Street, and then a residential common areas along Floral Avenue. and then upstairs is purely units. These are the elevations, and we have a representative rendering at the end. This would be the north elevation along ground. This is the retail street. I'll talk a little bit more in depth about it when we see the rendering. This is the back side, so this is the east side against the parking lot, if you see the site plan. And then the next one is south facing, also against the parking lot. And then the next elevation is our Floral Avenue street elevation. These are just photos of the surrounding buildings. And everything we sit between, a mix of residential and then obviously retail based on whatever street you're on. Materiality-wise, we have brick and metal panel. The retail facade, we're choosing a more modern brick, I would say size, which is a sort of a longer, thinner brick. And then on the residential facade, we're switching to a more standard residential size brick. And what we're trying to do is have a textural change that pops out the really the retail facade along Brown Street to make that pop. And there's also a little bit of a tonal change, same brick color, but one's an iron spot and one's just a regular sort of smooth brick. And so that'll be a little bit of a tonal change, but it won't be a drastic, like, wow, these are wildly different colors. So in the rendering, you can see we're looking sort of from Brown and Floral Avenue, mostly down Brown Street, but a little down Floral as well. So this is sort of the main retail facade. You can see the first floor is really trying to get that retail aesthetic, big glass windows, overhangs, a really accented retail entry, which is sort of that middle metal panel piece. And then on either side is where that more modern kind of sized brick is. And then where the building sets back there is where the residential portion of the building starts. That's where the brick changes. We're trying to just do accents around there to make it feel a little bit more residential, a little more contextual with the rest of the buildings, sort of along Floral Avenue as you round that corner.
No, it looks good. I mean, we've seen several prospective developments on this corner over the last 10 years, so maybe you'll be the first that gets it done.
Fingers crossed.
So, I don't, any commissioners have any comments, questions, concerns, issues?
I like the various texture in the facade, so I kind of like that.
Yeah, it looks fine.
That looks good.
Okay. Arshana, why don't you make a motion? I'm sure that Mary Jane, you'll probably be looking at landscaping if this moves forward, so.
Okay. Okay. I make a motion that certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number 2021-029A, located at 8047 Floral as presented.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. All right, good luck. Maybe you'll get it done.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
take care.
Have a good one.
Sure. Moving on to case 2021-025A at 7852 Kildare. This is for Edward Janus. Is the petitioner, all the staff comment is continued from April 14, 2021 meeting. There was some revised, a revised plan put online. I know there are several neighbors that would still like to speak to this, but let me, as we get to that, we'll swear people in. But is the petitioner available to raise their right hand? And is the petitioner online?
Yes.
Okay, Edward, can you raise your right hands? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Great. Why don't we, is this the only new rendering? Why don't you just take a look at the renderings? So you've taken the flat roof of it and
Correct, in the front, to change the front elevation.
Made the front view look a little more, I don't know if I want to use the term traditional, but puts slanted roofs on them, so. Has the, I know we have some neighbors who have, I don't know if the neighbors have had a chance to view these drawings. I know that Carrie had mentioned that that's probably a better look at it. I think, Mr. Baum, I think you're kind of one of the lead representatives.
Yes,
I don't know if you.
I own a house just south of this empty lot.
Correct. Have you and some of your neighbors had a chance to look at this and have any comments or concerns?
Yeah. Do I need to be sworn in, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, that'd be great. Why don't you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great.
Comments are that basically not much change. When we last met a month ago, I had asked members of the commission if they had the time to drive by the lot and picture this modular house on that lot, which is a very narrow lot, on which a 4-bedroom house would be built basically lot line to lot line. And so our view is basically, as you can tell, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, of the neighbors who are here tonight, our views haven't changed at all, even with these slight modifications. It's a modular house, very out of character with the neighborhood in any direction you look. The chosen house colors are out of character with the neighbors' homes in any direction you look. So our feelings are still pretty much the same as they were last month. We
Okay.
feel that change is not the issue. We feel that appearance and inclusion takes precedence over change.
Understood. Any of the commissioners have any comments that they'd like to share? I mean, I know I did my homework.
I do. I did drive through the neighborhood and look at the site, and then on my way back, I was noticing most neighborhoods do have similar type homes in them. But then I went further into my own neighborhood, and I realized that on Central Park, there is a real contemporary house next to a traditional colonial style house. And I never thought that was objectionable at all. And the only thing about this that I'm not sure about is the dark color of the house. That might make it stand out more. But if you look on Central Park, across from the park called Central Park, there is a real contemporary house next to a colonial, and to me it was totally acceptable. So I don't know how analogous the two.
Right, I understand
situations
what you're saying, Mary Jane, and I remember that case on that house that was designed by Brinstool and Park.
Goodness.
Right.
There's one right across from the
Right.
park there.
Julie,
But those are much bigger lots. This is a very narrow lot.
all right.
That's true, it is more narrow.
Any comment?
I went through the neighborhood as well. Mr. Baum, you might want to tell a couple of your neighbors on the corners to get their lawnmowers fixed, but that's a side note. The lot in question, you've got that your block there actually has a couple of these lots. I don't know if the one a little more south of this lot is owned by the neighboring house or not, but the way the lawn was cut, it looks like it might be one congruous lot. I don't know. Also, across the street from this lot also looks like a similar sized lot that might be vacant as well. I'm not sure.
No.
But as I look at that, as I looked at the lot and I looked at the house lines and all that stuff, and as I look at the rendering, I would agree with I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to it's hard to see this house in line with all the other ones, and I think we might want to eventually get to that point. We did see the rendering you sent, but I do agree that the material colors, the material choices and stuff like that, although this look is an improvement from the straight flat roof look, it's still not necessarily congruous. The lot line to lot line, there's nothing you can do about the lot line to lot line. That's what's allowed under village code. But in doing my homework and going to tour the block, I would agree that this design could use still yet a little more work in order to fit in. That's just my comment. I don't know if any other commissioners went and looked. I'm also hoping that some of the residents did their homework and looked at some of those houses that we called out as well, so.
Yes, can I say something?
I agree with you because I also draw in that area, and I have seen that there are big houses. I think only for the color combination we can think of it. Otherwise, technically this is okay. So if you have some pictures, can you share with us?
What was the question, Jay? I'm sorry.
If you have some, when you pass by, if you have some pictures taken in that street, so if you can share with us, I have the.
You're talking about a future submission of showing the whole row of houses. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Because in that street there are various houses and various types of structures. I have seen that.
Okay. Julie, what was you? Tom, what's your?
Yeah, I have the pictures, but as of now, I cannot share with you. So,
right.
So all these big houses, so only for the color combination is little different in this house.
Yeah, I think if the color was a lighter color, and if there would be landscaping around this house to soften it, it would help a lot.
See, these are the houses. If you can just.
Yeah. So, Tom.
I think if they can work on the front facade and match it up with the neighborhood, that would bring some similarity.
Tom, did you have a comment one way or the other?
Well, I did actually. I did take the opportunity to drive by the street, and although there isn't anything, on that particular street quite as modern looking as this submission is, there is a variety of housing styles on that street. Not only in style but in color. And in material selection as well, and so I get the comments. I understand them. It is not terribly conforming with the existing style of the street, but the street does have a variety of styles. So I'm going to stick with my comments from last week and say I like the submission. And I'm for it.
Edward, yes, Edward, you can speak.
Yes, I wanted to refer to what's being said, comments lot line to lot line. This home isn't bigger than, and of course there are side setbacks, and is not bigger than the village code allows for this particular location and the zoning. Also, my understanding from the first meeting was that the flat roof and boxy style was what everyone was opposing. So I was trying just to please everyone and change the roof on the house.
Right.
We do have also another rendering. I don't know if my architect Ed has joined. We also have another version of this proposal
Well,
without the flat roof.
yeah, we're not able to just throw up something without going through the process. Dave, I see you. Dave, did you want to speak?
This other here. Do I have to get sworn in?
Yes, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I'm obviously Dave's wife, Marcy. And of course, it's what you see a nice open area here in this picture on each side. Well, the sidewalk on the left is almost at the lot line. He has to leave 4 feet. And on the right, the neighbor's house is 4 feet away from the garage, basically. And then it's a garage with right now it's showing it as a driveway, a double driveway, which is, according to the drawings, 20 of the 40 feet of the width of the house and the lot. And so if you look at the street, there are a couple houses way down that have wide driveways. But all of a sudden, this huge, half the lot is concrete in the front. And I looked at every house. I looked at the two on Long Street, which are disastrous looking. And the best looking was the one on Fargo, and color-wise. And I had to say, I looked at that one, and it's very close to the lot line, and the next door neighbor has a driveway. And so on the driveway between the two, they've got the big tall bushes, and there's barely room for them to walk out their door. And the house on the other side is just close to it. Somebody in our neighborhood, in fact, Eileen is probably here, she could describe it better. She had at least a good idea about possibly one of the houses on Fitch, I think it was, had a driveway that was narrow at the street and then opened up. So you could get in your 2-car garage, but you didn't have totally concrete, all the way up to the street. And it also eliminates parking spaces on the street. We have a fair number of people who park on the street, and that eliminates pretty much all of that. You're just going to be looking at a big wall of concrete. And we have other neighbors that might want to say something, I don't know, but it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, I noticed that. In fact, when I was there, I parked right in front of the place. So.
And the other lots, if you're looking down the street, none of the other what look to be empty lots are buildable. They're all under 40 feet. And they belong in, like the corner house that you said, the lawn needs cutting, yes, well, the village says it's okay for him to have that lawn. And so we all look at it and can't do anything about it, which is very frustrating. But be that as it may, if you go down the street, there are no other open. There's some older houses that were built on the 30-foot lots before there were regulations. And when we moved in, our house was built by Joe Hansen, and he built a lot of houses in this neighborhood, but I don't think there were a lot of rules and regulations, and he kind of did what he wanted to do. So it's just,
understood.
It just doesn't, in our eyes, it doesn't fit.
Right. Does anybody have any other further comments? Eileen Kelly raised hand. Is Eileen Kelly there?
Hello.
There she is. Okay, great. Do you swear?
Hi.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Great. Go ahead, Eileen.
Hi. Thank you for letting me speak.
Sure.
Yeah, wanted to second what Marcy was just saying about the driveway. That's my main concern as somebody across the street. And I'm not sure if this board can approve that or if renderings can be adjusted for that for the next time. You know, we have a bit of a smaller street, but in the winters, majority of neighbors park on the street. And so when we have to do one-sided, I'm very concerned about a double lot size driveway taking up a lot of room. So that's what I had talked to Marcy about, is potentially, like, I don't know if it's a possibility to have the double driveway, but then having it only be a single entryway, because I noticed the difference between the houses that you told us to go see. Some had the single entryway on the street access, and then some had double, which takes up a lot of street space. So that would be my comment, and hopes that it can be a single to open up street parking for us and our neighbor.
Well, all right, thank you for that comment. As the Appearance Commission, just so you guys know, we don't have authority over whether it's a single or a double-cut driveway. But, you know, if the petitioner agrees to go, yeah, okay, we'd go single and then widen it out to a double so we can get the width, that's a separate deal. Or, you know, I mean, we just don't, we have authority over the look of the home. And the land use and coverage, that's more zoning. So, but I appreciate your comments. There's actually a house in my neighborhood that has that same effect, where it's really kind of a single driveway, but then they widen it out so they can get two. So I understand what you're saying. So thank you, Eileen, for your comment. Was there any
Can I
other?
add one more comment?
Yes.
Sure. Everybody's saying about lightening it up. I have to tell you, of all the houses I looked at, the one on Fargo, if you haven't looked at it, was the best looking of any of them, and it's very dark. It's brand new, maybe not even a year old, I don't think, or maybe a year. And the ones on Fitch and the ones on Long all have light color and dark, which to me look really awful. At least the one on Fargo is all dark. And it doesn't fit in with any of the architecture that's over there either. But they're not my kind of houses. But they also aren't.
Understood. Are you saying you're pro-dark or pro-light?
I am pro-dark. If you just take a look at the one on Fargo, you'd know what I'm talking about.
I understood. Okay. Are there any other comments, any other raised hands or anything like that?
Hi, I'd like to say something if I could.
And your name?
My name is Erin Kirchhoff.
Hey,
I'm
Aaron, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great.
We moved into the neighborhood a little over a year ago, and when we were looking at houses in Skokie and the area, what really drew us to this neighborhood and to this street was the charm of it. You know, like everyone has said so far, a lot of the houses here are, you know, traditional looking colonial houses that really have a lot of character to them. You know, yards are well kept and people really care about their homes on this street. And I feel like if we had moved into a neighborhood with one or more houses like this one looks, I don't think we would have moved there, frankly. I would love to see plans for something that looks different, that looks closer to what we have on the street, something that has character and charm and fits in better with what's already here.
Yeah, Aaron, I think, did you speak at the last meeting? I think you just.
I did not, no.
Okay, well, somebody else repeated that very similar comment. There was a plan a couple of years ago that was approved for this lot. I don't have that at my fingertips. Somebody had mentioned that, in their opinion, that this submission actually looked better than that submission.
Mr. Chairman, I can show you a picture of it if you want to see it. I can hold it up in front of the camera. I've kept the file on what's happened since the very beginning. This was back about 9 years ago.
Sure, throw it up there.
This is what was proposed. I don't know if you can see this, but this is what was proposed for this lot 9 years ago before your commission.
Right. And I believe that after a couple of revisions, that went through and it got approved, but for whatever reason, it wasn't built. Is that correct?
We don't know. We attended the meeting 9 years ago, and all we know is I never followed up on it personally.
Okay.
The lot was never developed. It's still owned by the man that bought it out in Bridgeview, and so basically this was that was what I showed you was the design. I think it was a 4 to 5 bedroom, 4.5 bedroom brick, and I just found out recently, as a matter of fact, that the commission had approved it then, but nothing had happened.
Yeah, probably whoever wanted to develop it didn't pull it together. Edward, did you have anything further to comment?
Personally, I like modern style. I'm not interested in having a traditional home. So that rendering from 9 years ago, and yes, 9 years has passed. I like modern style, and this is my comment. And about the number of bedrooms, actually, this is a 3-bedroom home and not 4 bedrooms. There is 3 bedrooms on the second floor.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it looks like this submission is actually less in size than that first submission from a bulkiness
It is.
standpoint and so forth.
It is.
Yeah, it was curious too. This one is 3 bedrooms. It has it's actually 4 baths. Each bedroom seems to have a bath.
Yeah.
But the other bathroom is on the first floor, what was considered an office or a library, but I assume it could be a bedroom. We thought that was kind of strange though, to have a bath with each.
Sure.
Because we have friends who've been in situations where houses like this have been turned into Airbnbs, and that's why they have a bathroom with each room.
This is today's style.
Yeah.
Every bedroom gets its own bath.
Yeah.
That's nice. I wish we had it.
Julie, did you have any follow-up comments?
I really feel like it's going to feel squeezed in there because of the lot size. I think the lot size is too small. I don't mind modern style at all. I just think it does not fit the character of the neighborhood.
Okay. I don't have any further comment either, other than I think I tend to agree with Julie, but that said, we're a commission of many more members than just myself. I think I don't disagree with the neighbors about the driveway, and but I think the finishes, excuse me, the exterior look of it could use a little tweaking in order to be, or, tweaking to be congruous with the neighbors' finishes, if you know what I mean. But I think if this lot is going to eventually get developed, from a size standpoint, you're not going to get anything smaller than this house. You're going to get a house that's bigger. But that said, that's just merely my comment. Because I think, quite honestly, I actually think the ordinances and stuff, if I'm not mistaken, Matt, would actually allow for a taller home, and would allow for more FAR than what's being proposed, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Probably.
so that said, I guess I'm just going to kind of leave it for, as a matter of law, I got to leave it up to the other commissioners that if somebody wants to make a motion, we can take it to a vote. My current vote now would be I would vote against with the hope for a resubmission with a different look at finishes and maybe some some appeasement to the neighbors about the driveway concerns and so forth, but that's just my comment.
Unless the petitioner has anything to offer, response, Mike, I'm going to move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted, case 2021-025A at 7852 Kildare, as presented in tonight's meeting.
Okay, does anybody second that motion? Do we have that, has that motion been seconded or not?
Yeah, I second the motion.
Okay, so we have a second. Anybody in favor of it, say aye.
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 I,
I got 3 ayes. Anybody opposed?
No,
Are you opposed, Julie?
I am opposed.
Arshana, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm not with this, yeah.
All right, so we're kind of at a deadlock situation. We were at 3-3. So, yeah, so at
Mr.
3.
Chairman, can I make a suggestion?
Yes, you may, sir.
This is Dave Baum again. If it meets with the commission's approval, because of concerns, I think the neighbors would like to meet with Mr. Janusz and the architect. And I'm thinking if we all sat down and talked about this and talked about our concerns and what he wants on this piece of property, we could probably come to some type of a mutual consideration to be brought up at the next meeting.
I would have absolutely no opposition to that. I think Mr. Janusz would probably be okay with that now, given that he's got the motion hasn't passed. Mr. Janusz, is that something you'd be open to? And then maybe, a couple of tweaks here and there and a couple other concerns that could be addressed. This might be something that might sail through at the next meeting. We could, it's not like.
Before I say yes or no, is my architect present at the meeting?
Yeah, I'm here.
Ed, do we have the other rendering of the roof, different style roof? Because I don't know if the seller, if we can wait any longer. I wanted to present the other rendering as well, if possible, if it's ready. If not, then we can. Then we'll have to discuss it at the meeting.
Yeah. I have it. I sent it in. I'm not sure it's ready to be shown here.
Yeah.
But I doubt it's going to change anything.
Edward, yeah, here's the problem with that is, we do have, per our guidelines, you've got a 10-day notice, but I would suggest that you would go ahead and the village can put you two together, Mr. Baum and yourself, and you guys can arrange some sort of a, I don't know, 1-hour meeting if it even would take that, and go through it. Trust me, I've heard some of those neighbors on previous cases. They're very reasonable and just hear their concerns, and I think maybe with a couple strokes of a pencil, this thing is much more, we meet in the middle, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I think, Matt, is that something that you can send, you or somebody in the department can get these two hooked up via email?
Yeah, we'll work through Carrie.
Okay. So Mr. Baum, thank you very much for that idea and recommendation, and Edward, thank you very much for being open to that. And but please be expeditious in this. Don't let this go 2-3 weeks. Try to get together next week and meet a common ground here, and then we can hopefully at the next meeting get this thing tightened up. Does that make sense for everybody?
Works for me, Mr. Chairman.
Great. Edward?
Yes.
Okay, we got two Edwards, but, okay, great.
Yeah, my architect should have that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine also.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good. I want this, I want everybody to be, that's what we do here, and I appreciate all the neighbor input. I mean, that's what, we're here for the residents, and we're also here for development too, so I think getting you guys together would be a great benefit, so. So with that, that's the last case. I think we're going to adjourn the meeting. Look for an email through Carrie in the Community Development Department, and she'll get you two hooked up together, okay?
Sounds good. Mr. Chairman, one more thing. Can I, as the spokesperson for the group here, can neighbors also attend? This is not an adversarial
I would think
meeting in the sense of what people might consider. This is really, I think, as you heard tonight, input from people who would be neighbors of Mr. Janusz or whomever lives in this house.
Yes, I think somebody hosts a little coffee and you guys go through it. And I would recommend that. How you guys want to get around any COVID concerns, that's up to you. The weather's getting nice, maybe it's in somebody's backyard, but I would think that would be the best way, as long as you keep everybody in line, Mr. Baum. You're the chairman. If I'm the chairman here, you're the chairman there.
Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, thanks, everybody, and next meeting is next month.
Hey.
Thanks, Mike.
Good night.
Stay safe.
Bye.